Hey guys, welcome to Podiatry Practice Mastery. Don here. We're going to talk today about what worked and what didn't work last week. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the tech list. I'm taking basically something from that tech list, and every week I'm talking more about it. Today I'm going to talk about Todoist. Well, we might as well just get into it here. Todoist, what this is I use it in two methods. You can see here on my Chrome browser up here, there's a number 7. That means there's 7 things that I want to do. So for example, if I have a patient that I don't see them back, but I want to call them, so I'll put a little reminder with their medical record number up here. Just call the patient, and I'll take that and I'll put it into a note for my staff to give them a call to see how they're doing at a certain designated time. Also, little tasks. So this links with my phone. It links with my browser. So it's a way to have these to-do lists. And the neat thing is you can set it forward, like to do it in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So for example, every 15th of the month, I look up my numbers from my Athena, and then I'll do my practice mastery thingy based on those numbers, like that technical word thingy. Okay. So that's how I use Todoist. They also have a web version right here. So you can do a video creator lesson. That's a lesson to learn how to do better YouTube videos. This is just a reminder for me about a mastermind, buy a tripod for my wife because I stole hers and I brought it to the office, and then some other things. Okay. So that's how I use Todoist. I would recommend it. I think it's helpful, and it gets you kind of out of your email, and it has this little number 7 up here, which bugs you. So you have to do it. Wanted to give you guys an update on the master class. So this is master class number 2. We did number 1 before. I'll show it to you. This is what it looks like. It was on YouTube. It was 32 minutes long, and it was on AFOs. And I gave a little bit of a tip at the end about using this new patient visit that I do. The way I did it is I wanted to do something midweek at 8 o'clock, but I didn't want to be there. So I pre-recorded it and I put it on YouTube, and I sent it out. So if you guys are a part of my list, you're seeing the way I do this. So basically it's something I want people to do live. What's the reason for that? Well, this video got 80 views and 4 likes, whereas other stuff only gets maybe 15 or 20 views. So there's a lot more interest. And then I can take it off at any time, and I can add it as a bonus to one of the courses that I'm doing. Okay, that's the reason. And I was able to reutilize content. So this lecture was the same lecture I gave for the AAPPM, but I just kind of took off their headings and added a few things to it. So by the time you're looking at this link may or may not be working anymore. I think I took it down already. If you guys want access, just send me an email and I can give you access to it. Okay. I did an interview with this a gentleman named Steve Messinio. We were talking about marketing. So he likes marketing, and he implemented a few things. So giving you access to that, I'll put a little link. I would recommend listening to it. I'm trying to figure out a more organized way of doing my interviews. So basically within Podiatry Practice Mastery, on Mondays, I'm putting these updates in. So I'm thinking about switching all the interviews to appear on Fridays. And then the master classes will come midweek. I'm trying to figure out a better way of doing this. Okay, so you can get we talked about some neat technology and things that are working. Basically, the gist of this is that he bought this marketing packet, basically, and he was never able to really implement it. And so when he finally paid them to do some like one-on-one, I think it was one-on-one or some group coaching, he was actually able to do things. So that's my whole thought. I've given you guys this 30-day practice blueprint, but I'm thinking the majority of people don't actually get through it. And I'm thinking if I charged or I did some type of a group, like kind of work your way through it, or a challenge or something like that, people would actually get through it, because it's amazing how much stuff you can give out that people don't use. And so that's what his takeaway was for what he's working on. He used to be a physical therapist, and now he's actually working within IT services. Google reviews. I'm going to share this once again with you guys. This is how you create a Google review link. So we have these in our waiting rooms. And I also send this link out to patients after they see me. Basically, you go to Google Place ID, you put in your name and your clinic so you can get the ID. You take that and what you do is you paste it at the end of this phrase. You paste it at the end, it'll automatically pop up so people can do a Google review. The first thing you have to realize, though, is they have to have a Google account that they're logging into. So that's the way I do it. I also have a review page on my website that it has Google, Yelp, all the other ones. So I can just send that. It has everything in there, and I kind of give my patients instructions. That's the Google review. A couple of cool websites I wanted to share with you. One here is this Breakthrough website. This was recommended by someone else. Basically, they do landing pages, lead management, email autoresponder, all these types of things for physical therapy and chiro. But it might be something you want to look at. They have some kind of strategies and things like that, some other resources you might like. So I put a link here underneath for that. Another thing is the Technology Marketing Toolkit. This, my friend Steve uses, which I thought was kind of interesting because I like the idea of a toolkit. And this was the one where he actually paid to get some of their stuff. And then he paid for them for the coaching. He got a lot of better results. What my thought is within Podiatry Practice Mastery, maybe it would work better if I have the 30-day practice blueprint and then having a weekly where we go over some things together as a group so people can get help actually implementing. Because I think the implementing is the hard thing because we're all very, very busy. So that's if you want to look at their website, they have some good ideas there. We did a new ad for the paper, and this is something we all kind of got bogged down. And if you're doing ads in newspapers, we have one called the Community Advocate that we use. And it was always just kind of the same one because no one had time to make it. But I did finally get someone to help with that. It's actually my wife. She's helping with it. And this is one that we put together a little bit. So basically, pain from ankle sprain. Do you have swelling or pain that's not getting better? Have you tried an ankle brace? And then kind of calling a call to action to make an appointment with us. This is kind of the ad that we're trying this week for us. I want to share something. This was also this week, a lot was going on. This is what I do between patients, right? I still see patients. This was a guy said, Don, if you had to take your Dr. Pelto website and put it on 5 pages, what would you do? He told me to make 5 little boxes and put them, and I was able to do it in 4. And this all goes down to like simplifying what you really want from your website to make sure you're getting the best return on investment. I want to walk you guys through this. So basically, this is my Dr. Pelto site. I want people to learn from me, be part of my foot treatment community. That's basically the foot treatment toolkit, or see me. Those are the 3 options. And so based on each of those 3 options, if they want to learn, they could do the books, video, courses. And the second thing that they could do is do the foot treatment community. It would be like a community thing where they get all those, would push them all over to this community for either a monthly fee or a forever fee. And then they could see me to make an appointment. And basically my patients, I would give them free access to this community. So that's kind of the thought, if I could really, really simplify things. So you might want to consider that for your website, how to simplify things that you're doing. I want to share something as well. I'm meeting with this woman named Nicole to simplify my thinking. Now, she used to work for this thing called Strategic Coach. Now she doesn't, but she helps with some admin things. And I want to kind of explain what she helps me with. This is something that I use called an impact filter. And so it's a way to free down up from energy draining content creation administration. I was really realizing that a lot of the things that I do with content creation, both for Podiatry Practice Mastery, for our Central Mass Podiatry, and the other things that I do, there's the admin stuff that I don't like. I like doing these videos, but everything after this video I don't like doing. So it kind of explains what the purpose is, what the success criteria is. And this is a way that I work through thinking, and she helps me with this. Basically, she fills it out as I talk to her and gets clarifying. Because I think a lot of times we just expect people to know what we want, but this really kind of clarifies the thinking. So this is something called an impact filter. You can Google it, and you can probably find it offered by Dan Sullivan. And then going back here, this is the book that I'm reading since I'm wanting to learn how to do better ads. It's How to Write Copy That Sells. This is one of the books that I'm reading right now. The audio isn't that good, but as I'm doing the audio, I'm reading it as well. And then I'm putting all my notes in my OneNote. This is where I keep all my notes for marketing ideas. So the copywriting book talks about how to do headlines, emails, bullet points, and things like that. Once again, if you guys want access to this, just send me an email. I'll be happy to give you you can observe what all these little folders are in my ideas. This is where I store most of my ideas in here. And then kind of what didn't work, boundaries with a virtual mastermind. I invited a couple of people within Podiatry Practice Mastery to try to do a virtual mastermind on WhatsApp. And so we've been communicating, but what I've realized is my boundaries are different than their boundaries. So my boundaries is I don't do any work Saturday, Sunday at all. I don't think about work, do work, read work, no business books, nothing like that. I try to do it Monday through Friday, off limits, weekends and nights. and they tend to do more of theirs on the weekend. So I had to kind of set up boundaries when I'm kind of working with them. So that's something I'm working on, I guess. And when I'm developing these things, this is why I don't like to do these coaching things at night, because that's kind of off limits or boundaries. I think it's good for us to have those boundaries in terms of when we do things, when we learn, when we study. I try to make as much use of the time between patients, and I think something that you should consider doing. Okay, so otherwise you're just working all the time. Okay, guys, hope that was helpful, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Please get the 30-day practice blueprint. If you haven't gone through it, please try to go through it, because I think that's going to make things a lot better for you.